At SoFlo Home Project, we love answering viewer design questions. So I'm going to tackle some of the most popular ones to keep you inspired on today's SoFlo Home Project. Welcome to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra. Everyone loves to beautify their homes, but sometimes getting started can be the biggest challenge. So today I want to tackle some of the most difficult design dilemmas and help you make your home more beautiful. We've prepared some simple and practical advice on how to create a beautiful table setting, style your tables and countertops, choose the right window treatment, and much more. So I get a lot of questions on organizing and how to keep things in the house neat, and I want to show you some of my favorite ways. I truly think there's two things that help a home be more organized, and that is working with labels and storing things in bins, whether it be larger things like this or clear plastic organizer containers, and these are great for food. I personally love chalk labels because they are great. You could easily wipe off the names so you could reuse them over and over as long as you have a chalk pen. Super easy. You could just put this in your pantry, organize the cookies or whatever you have in your home, and check out this segment that we shot a few months ago showing my favorite way to organize the kitchen. While I was at home the last few days, I cleaned out my own kitchen, and while I don't have the largest of kitchen, it still took a lot of throwing out. I had bags of stuff that's been expired, things that are pushed to the back of the cabinet that you might not have seen. Get rid of all the junk. These kind of containers are great because of the seal, right? So better than just sometimes putting a simple clip. I like having a variety, some for pastas, some for snacks, some for cereals, even with sugar packets, things like that. Great way to see it all, have it organized rather than in the box just getting lost somewhere in a cabinet. Now, how I like to stack them is in order of the size, so depending on how far you want to take it. All of the cereals and stuff that are with the same height and size stacked together, and then you can go from higher to lower. And also having a beautiful organized pantry is really something that you see a lot of. You're seeing people posting a lot of this on social media now. You can easily, and it is so simple. This is a great time to declutter everything. Now for me, the first place I started was my makeup cabinet. What I find works best is actual makeup organizers. But what you need to do is survey your cabinets that you're storing it in first, because it's not like a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. You got to buy what works for the cabinetry that you have and determine if you're going to want to keep your stuff on the countertop or keep it tucked away. I put all my makeup in a tray, and this tray fits right inside one of my cabinets below the vanity. And the thing about the tray that I find so great is that I could take it out when I need it, place it on the counter, do what I got to do, and then it goes right back. And this also prevents clutter. The more you see everything laid out in a nice, easy way like this, it helps you from hoarding the stuff, okay? So if you don't have the space to fit a tray in a large drawer or a cabinet, another alternative, of course, is a countertop type of organizer. So it really depends on the type of setup you have in your bathroom. These type of organizers are also great. So we would love to see your home organization pictures, so feel free to share them on social media with the hashtag SoFlo Home Project. Coming up on SoFlo Home Project, setting the right ambiance can make any meal feel special.
I'm Tat with FHIA, and we're going to speak with a woman who is tired of putting up her paneled shutters all by herself. She decided to change out her windows with new hurricane impact glass. We're going to talk to her on today's SoFlo Home Project.
Would you like to win a $500 Goya Seasonings Greetings gift card? Of course you would. Enter today. Go to local10.com for your chance to win Goya's Seasonings Greetings. Because if it's Goya, it has to be good. Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we're continuing to address our most popular design dilemmas and questions. And I figured I would share with you next some great ways to set up a table while entertaining. And the best way to start with that is a theme. When we travel, we always have memorable meals, so I thought this is a great time to be able to dine outdoors, enjoy our great weather, cook a great meal that reminds you of your favorite place, and set up a great table. And I think for here we're going with a little nautical feel, so whatever your theme is, you could take it and run. I'm gonna grab some shells and kind of strew them across the table. We've got our fire feature, we've got our lights, so you can just kind of strew them around. I'm just gonna place a few for now, but you get the idea. So I'm using a little placemat. I wanted to add a pop of blue. Whether you use placemats or not, I think they're pretty, and again, adds that restaurant-like feel, the resort-like vibe. I got some great outdoor plates. If you are gonna be dining outdoors and you don't wanna use your china or the dishes that are breakable around the pool, outdoor plates are a great option. I went again with a little bit of a nautical theme, and you could have fun with the napkins. I ordered some napkins online in a little bit of an anchor theme and added a little bit of a red, so you can just kind of mix it up. You can have fun with it. Maybe you wanna layer it and do a little bit of a little thing like this. So just have a fun pop of red and then the anchors. If you want to get feel like you're at a nice little event, add some touch of your shells around. You could really create a beautiful setting just by simply adding things that you already have. Found objects. So when setting up the outdoor table, I feel like, especially for the staycation vibe, if you want to feel like you're at a resort and have a beautiful meal outdoors with your family and just enjoy the weather here, I think make it feel like a table setting you don't normally do. So I hope that you guys got some great info on how to set up your table for your next special meal. But no meal is complete without a great napkin fold, and I'm gonna show you ways to do something a little more fancy like this. It's so easy, so if you wanna grab a dinner napkin and join me right after we see what Tack Renata from FHIA has for us today.
When we were talking about this project and we initially met, some of the things that you discussed about why you wanted to change out the windows, there was one thing in particular that really stood out for me. Last hurricane season, what did you do for hurricane protection and how did that happen?
Well, I had the shutters that you had to put up, the aluminum shutters, so I basically did it all myself.
And then once they're on, they don't come down by themselves either.
No,
so you have
it's
to take
a lot of work bringing them down. As much as it is going up, it's the same as coming down.
Same work coming down, right?
So I decided, my daughter's going to be moving away, and I just wanted less hassle of trying to deal with it by myself. More security for me too, knowing that I'll be safe inside my home, knowing that someone trying to get in won't really be able to get in or break the windows. So it's a lot more security for me, so I feel a lot more comfortable.
And this was the original window right here that you currently have. We're going to be removing it shortly. But I always noticed it's just a single pane piece of glass, the original window. So energy efficiency and making the home more comfortable, was that one of the priorities as well?
One of the priorities too. My electric bill is really high, even though I just changed my air conditioning, it still runs a lot. Hoping that now with the new windows, my bill will go down a little bit.
Well, you chose a great window, not only for hurricane protection, but it is going to make the home a lot more energy efficient. It has the Solar Max technology, which is going to reflect all the radiant heat away from the home, just making your home more comfortable.
Exactly. So I'm really pleased for now with how everything is going, and hopefully after it's up, and I'm sure I don't think it's going to have any problems, so I'm hoping that everything is going to be great from now on.
It was so much fun having the opportunity to speak with Isabel today, and how impressive is she? The fact that she used to put up the paneled shutters all by herself, I know how much work that is, and that's a pretty great job for her. She's going to be a lot more safe with the hurricane windows that she has installed and a lot more comfortable. So she's really happy with how everything turned out. Back to you, Alena.
Thanks, Tat. Okay, so this is the moment that I've been wanting to show. I love folding napkins, and I think it adds the perfect decorative element to any table. And most of the time, it's easier than you think. So I'm gonna show you two of my favorites, starting with this beautiful, elegant rose. And it is simpler than you think. All right, so you're gonna first fold it into a triangle, line up the ends, and we are going to roll this portion. Now, you're not going to roll it all the way. You're going to stop just about here. Okay, leave an extra little triangle there. That's going to eventually be your leaves. Now you're going to flip this, start from one side, and you will start rolling this. I like to keep one hand here to secure it a little bit, and then eventually you can let go. Now you're going to leave a little extra left off, and now you're going to tuck this piece in right here. All right, so now we have our rose, but what about this? This is the leaves. So let me show you what to do. You're gonna place this on the table and you would just pull them apart, okay? So you're gonna just kind of fold one over. Now, voila. I have got another fold for you that is rather simple, and it's a great way to have your silverware contained within it. Fold it in half, and we're folded again, so we're working with squares, okay? Next, we're gonna fold one side all the way to the end. You're gonna go layer by layer. As you bring it in, you're gonna tuck it underneath, okay? Make sure you leave a little space, like about an inch, showing. You're gonna do one more. Now that I've got three, you're gonna flip it over. You're gonna fold one side in, and you're gonna fold the other side in. So you're kind of creating a little bit of a rectangle. And now what you have here, it creates pockets for your silverware. So now you've got a great way to contain your silverware, and it's a decorative element to your plate on any table. Coming up next, we simplify your coffee table decor by creating zones. Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. Have you ever struggled with home decor and finding the perfect way to complete that room? Well, I think that one area that a lot of people ask me questions about is styling the coffee table. It sometimes can feel overwhelming, but trust me, you're not alone in this. I think it's something that is rather simple once you get the general idea of that. How do you first tackle designing the table? With zones. I call it zones because I'd like to have two separate areas on the table to be able to have your decor. So this way it takes advantage of the space, gives you some nice styling, but doesn't fully take up all the space on the table. Flowers, books, candles, decorative objects, just kind of keep it simple. So establishing zones on a larger coffee table is definitely a great way to take advantage of the space and create some depth as well on the table. But what if you have a smaller, perhaps a smaller round coffee table? That I might style a little differently, and I'm going to show you that next, but first check out the way we style a larger table. We show so many beautiful coffee tables when we do our designer home tours, and from our Instagram lives, I got to show you a lot of my favorite ways, but here I want to break down some easy and simple tips. I always love to have some sort of floral element on a coffee table, and I like to cut them low so it almost is set right on top. So my second favorite thing for styling the table is coffee table books. Now they call them that for a reason because they look so good on the coffee table. And it's a great way to infuse your personality, your interests, your hobbies, and a little pop of color as well. Some people like just one prominent book on display, and if that's larger, that's a great look. I think it's nice to do 2 to 3 to maybe even 4 books, depending on how thin or thick they are. All right, so this is one way, but perhaps you might have a large ottoman as your coffee table, or you want a way to kind of contain a little bit of clutter and remotes and everything else, coasters. I've got another way. The tray is the second most important thing that you could use to style a coffee table. I got the magazines in here. I even stacked some books. And again, the tip is on top of the books or magazines, a small object. So this way we've got a complete area. It easily lifts off if you want to have a nice clear table. You could also even fill it with games. How about this? Look at this. It's a coffee table book with board games inside. So whatever you want to put in here, a tray is a great way to contain the clutter. So I hope that helped make styling your square or rectangular coffee table a little easier. But what if you have a round table? Well, I like to style a round table a little bit differently because I don't like to take up too much surface area. So usually a round tray is a great way. It separates from the table, gives a little bit of visual interest, contains all the items, and again, easy to move if you're going to enjoy a casual meal or drink on your table. Next on SoFlo Home Project, we look at window treatment options for any size window. Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we are continuing answering design dilemmas, questions that viewers ask. And one of the things that I'm asked most is how to find the right window treatments for your home. Now, let me break it down really quickly and say that window treatments are sort of a personal preference. So there isn't necessarily a right or wrong, but there's good ideas that work better for some windows versus others, as well as your design style. One thing I want to show you is the way window treatments can really transform a room, especially if you have older windows that you want to camouflage or want to create the look of wall-to-wall windows, even though you don't have that. So we're here in my design studio and I have an older window. And as you can see, the windows don't go wall-to-wall. But what I did with the window treatments to create that effect was using sheer drapery that ran the entire length of the wall, therefore concealing the older window and the fact that it is not wall-to-wall. And now just one more quick thing, what I used at the top here is a cornice. And a cornice is a hard window treatment. It's made in plywood and then covered with some padding and fabric. And a cornice is a great way to conceal other types of window treatments, such as roller shades, blinds, anything that has hardware at the top that you don't want to see. So this was just one way using sheer drapery to conceal unwanted things behind the windows and really accentuate your room. But let me show you one way to work with tall and skinny windows in your home and make them look beautiful. So let's start. We've got a nice drapery panel here. Having a single drape panel on a tall window is a great look, especially if you have a pair of windows. So in this particular room, there's one window here and there's another one flanking it on the opposite side. So when you have a pair, pulling over to each side really kind of frames out the area and gives a nice look. Now this is 2 panels. Depending on the width of your window and the coverage you want, you can do a single store-bought panel, but if you find it's a little bit too thin, like here for the fullness, that second panel was added. You could also create this look with a little bit more of a modern feel, with a curtain perhaps with grommets or a cleaner look, and then when you're going more modern, you're not gonna have a pool at the floor that will hit right about a ½ an inch above the flooring surface. So if the tall and skinny windows are in another room, perhaps other than your bedroom, you might want a lighter drape and just something that's soft, and that could be a sheer. So sheer drapery in any color, any style. You could also use the same application, and that could also stay down and stationary in the window the whole time. So now, if you don't want to do any type of drapery option, I'm going to show you one of my favorite ways to treat pretty much all windows, but tall and skinny windows specifically. And that is with what's called solar shades, sometimes referred to as roller shades. This is a sheer weave fabric, comes in different degrees of light filtering. So you have everything from blackout down to something where you're going to get more light through in the window. In most tall skinny windows, this can mount right inside the window itself and almost blends in with the walls. So now I have one more to show you. This is sort of a combination if you like the look of a sheer and you also like the look of a blind, but you don't want 2 treatments. This kind of rolls it all into one, and it's a soft and beautiful look. So when they close up, the roller evens out and it covers all of the shears, and that allows the light to not filter through and to give you a little bit more privacy. So if that is not enough and you need something more to treat those tall and skinny windows, I would suggest a wood blind or a polywood blind. Those also look nice and clean, mounted inside the window. You could pick a color that matches your furniture. White is always a safe bet. Sometimes it's nice to have that window treatment match the trim so it looks like another decorative element. So I hope that gave you some great ideas on how to treat tall and skinny windows in your home, whether it's for sun control or for blackout shading as well. Now, if you prefer a soft drapery and you want to still get a good night's sleep, you can use any fabric you like and just make sure it has a blackout liner, which is material like this, that will go behind the fabric. So I hope that you guys really got some great design tips on ways to tackle some of the difficult things when it comes to decorating in your home, as well as some great inspiration for any of your upcoming home projects. Now let's see what Hunter Frankie from SoFlo Health has for us. Hey Hunter!
Hey there, Alena. Join us this week on Fort Lauderdale Beach for some dominoes and a look back at the year of 2020, which we are happy to say goodbye to, but we will say hello to 2021. We'll head to some of our favorite places, restaurants, and look back at the year of COVID, which affected us all. It's all tomorrow, right here on SoFlo Health at 12:30 on Local 10.
Thanks, Hunter. We'll definitely be watching. This is our last SoFlo Home Project episode for 2020. I am so proud to be part of the amazing team that puts this show on week after week. and it is our pleasure to bring to you design inspiration every weekend. Wishing you all a happy new year and all the best for 2021. Thank you for joining us this week, and we hope to see you again next week for another episode of SoFlo Home Project right here on Local 10. And remember, there's no place like home. SoFlo Home. Next week on SoFlo Home Project, if you thought building a dream home was out of your reach, think again. Learn how creative design is making luxury living an affordable reality. If you missed any part of this episode, or if you're looking for more design inspiration, make sure to check out all episodes online at SoFloHomeProject.com. You could also submit your own design disasters, and you never know, we could be knocking on your door to help. And don't forget to follow us on social media on Facebook and Instagram.